Welcome back to Totally Based. I'm Joey Gaskin, and today I'd like to get your opinion. Should a man pay $200 minimum on a first date? Tim Pool seems to think so, and I strongly disagree. There is this viral clip that's floating around right now, this woman saying that at minimum, a man should pay $200 on a first date. So what I'm going to do, since Tim covered this on the show, I'm going to play his clip, and he'll play the clip of the woman talking about the $200, and I'll kind of give my feedback as we go along. Let's jump into it.
This video is getting a lot of attention after people have debated whether or not this woman is correct when she says if she's going to go with a guy, he's got to spend at least $200 minimum. Tristan Tate was tweeting about it, and he said, she's right. And people are giving him flack for this. And he's like, no way. And I've seen a bunch of other guys actually point out she is correct. And I will say it right now, dude. If you think it is simping because because this woman says she wants a minimum of $200 spent on a date. Sorry. I mean, like, I feel like.
Wait, pause. It is simping. It's not simping from the perspective that it's $200 and the man has to pay $200. It's simping from the perspective that the woman is dictating to the man what he has to pay for the date. That's what makes it simping on those terms. I
guess the argument is it is an incel perspective to agree with this woman when it's actually the other way around. I don't like using that word. It's a stupid word, but the general idea is like, you're a weak man if you're going to give this woman $200 or whatever. Actually, the other way around. And I'll explain, right? The guys that are telling her she's wrong, I feel like are taking this progressive worldview of like, we have to be equals and we don't got to spend money and all that. And it's like, wait, no. Hold on. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, progressives. I'm hoping I can piss literally everybody off with this one. I like traditional gender roles to a certain degree. You know what I mean? And so I think this woman is correct. But let me play the video for you so you can hear what she says, and then we'll have this discussion because it's like I'm just seeing it pop up all over the place, and it's important to break this down. Here you go. Oh, sorry. I always do this with the audio.
Also,
you know, I bet everyone watching was like, Tim's got the audio set wrong.
Watch your friend's face in this clip.
Yes, that is correct. I do.
The most a man should spend on a first date?
I feel like if I'm gonna get ready and I'm gonna use all my products to come out with you, I need like a minimum of $200, a minimum, and that's like being nice.
And what does the man get in return for that?
My presence.
But aren't you having his presence within you already?
I hear you, but no. No. I mean, like, I'm here to get to know you. I'm here to get to know you. You invited me out.
But he has to drop $200.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because
minimum.
Yeah. Because
just because you have to do your makeup?
Because I have to. Okay, so we're gonna do the math. My moisturizer is $400. My eye cream is $300. My serum is like another $300. My makeup, not included. So if I have to spend, that's my money. I'm spending my money on these products. I'm gonna use these products.
What are you using them for, though?
For myself.
Okay.
But I'm gonna use these products and I'm gonna show up because it's not like I'm gonna show up in sweats.
The man doesn't owe you anything if you're just getting to know each other.
If you're inviting me out, you owe me a date.
So this is really, really funny. She's totally correct. The first thing I'm going to say.
Wait, let me get my comment in first, okay? I know that's Tim's show. Great. But let me get my comments in first. This woman said that she's not going to show up in sweats. I perfectly don't care. If you show up in sweats, that's perfectly fine. The whole point of the date is to get to know the woman, right? And also, I want to say, Drake has this line. Sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. Like, what happened to that? That is most men. We don't care if you show up with these spider eyelashes and these Freddy Krueger fingernails. We don't want all that. Men are attracted to women, not to clowns. So we don't need you to do all this extra stuff, buy all this face serum, whatever you're talking about you be buying, moisturizer, whatever. Who cares? That's stuff that you buy to keep your hygiene. Like, and men do the same thing. We pay for gym memberships and we pay to get our hair cut and get our car clean. We do things to take care of ourselves. You do things to take care of yourself. That's fine. But the whole point of this date is to get to know one another. So I'm gonna let Tim say his piece, but we just don't agree. We don't agree at all.
I'm gonna say it's all about the kind of person you're interested in being with. I mean, there might be some guys who are just like, I'm not all about that, and so then okay, but that's always allowed. And so some people have pointed out it's not good or bad, it's neutral. No. Or they said she's not right or wrong. It's like a neutral thing where some people like it, some people don't. No, she is right. She is right. Let me explain. If you want to go on a date with a woman, let's take the conservative perspective on this one. Women don't work. No, I'm talking like 100 years ago. A man wants to take a woman out to a nice dinner at a local diner or restaurant or something like this. 100 years ago, traditional gender roles. The woman is going to put in effort to be beautiful, to be attractive, to be worthy of this man's hard work. So what do women do? Dude, you ever watch how women would dress back in the day when everybody wore like suits? It's crazy. It took like an hour to get dressed, multiple layers. It's super crazy. It really is. So this is part of traditional gender roles. And I'm not saying you need to maintain them or like all the feminists are going to get mad now. Like literally, this woman spends a lot on a big wardrobe. Guys, jeans and t-shirts. Don't get me wrong. Like Tristan Tate made a video about this. He's like, I got a nice tailored suit and he was like, and I look good, exercise, but it takes me like 4 minutes to get ready. Let's approach this from a modern perspective. Women do a lot to get ready to go out. They spend a lot more time than guys do. There's effort involved in that. And if you want to live in the world where men and women split the bill, by all means, that's your thing. You're allowed to do it.
No.
For what she's explaining, she's talking about a man trying to court her, and she's saying he should spend at least $200. She didn't say outright she's spending nothing either.
Yes, she did.
He didn't. You know, I do.
She said he gets her time. That's what he gets in exchange. And to be fair, if a man's going to pay $200, you know, he may have some expectations. You know, he shouldn't have expectations because it's just the first date, but he may have those expectations. And for her to say he has to spend a minimum of $200, he could literally take you hiking. I mean, you could go do anything that doesn't cost $200. But $200 for your presence, like what is this, a 1-800 hotline? Like, I mean, come on. There should be something. If you pay $200, there should be an exchange there, a service. $200, especially if it's just your time. That's all he's getting.
I do think she says like he's got to spend that or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. My point is this: $200 on a night out with a person. Let's say you go to the movies. Let's say you're going to do dinner and a movie, and then afterwards something nice. Let's say it's like a 3-pronged date. The first thing you do is you have dinner. Let's say it's around 5 or 6. Then you go see a movie from 7 to 9, and then at 9. You're going to go down to the pier and ride the Ferris wheel and you wrap it up by 10 or 11 or something like this. $200 easy. Inflation, baby.
Okay. Now that point is right. You know, things cost more. If you go to the movies nowadays, I think me and my wife went to the movies like a month ago. It was around $30 for us to watch this movie. And it was a good movie. But yeah, I mean, things do cost. But to put a price on it, I have a problem with that. I have a real problem with that.
So my question is for the people who are saying she's wrong. Should women pay for dinner?
No, they shouldn't.
I think if you're dating a feminist and that's the world you live in, you can split the bill. That's fine. I think if you're dating a person who's adamant about taking care of themselves, by all means, that's all you. But if we're talking about traditional gender roles, and I don't mean abject and absolute, I mean just like the modern dating era. If you want a woman like her who's going to buy a nice dress, who's going to get face cream and moisturizer and her hair done, it is so much more money than the guy is spending. No.
Sorry, bro. I do not agree. I mean, I think Tim is leaving a lot of things out. She said $400 for moisturizer, $300 for eye cream, $300 for serum. Again, none of those things are requirements to actually go on a date with somebody. She could literally just wash her face with some Dove and keep it pushing. Another thing, too, is Tim's leaving out the fact what the man brings. She's expecting him to show up in a nice car. She's expecting him to have a nice job, a nice place. She's expecting him to dress nicely. She's expecting him to smell good. She's expecting him to be in good shape. There's a lot that a man still has to do to court a woman. It's not just all on her. And for her to just think that she's just going to show up and that she should get all the goods, $200 is not a lot of money. I will say that. But it is a lot of money to some people, but it's not in the grand scheme of things. It's not a whole lot of money. But for her to try to put a price on it, like he has to spend this on me, that's where the issue is. And that's where the whole point of simping comes in. Like for her to think that she can just dictate. I have a strong issue with that part of it.
That outfit she's wearing is probably more expensive than it needs to be.
Shein.
But women have a bigger wardrobe. Why? They are trying to present themselves to be attractive, to be better, right? So men build up their skills. They go and work. Women try to be attractive and beautiful and all that stuff. Feminists can argue they don't like it. But this is what the really interesting thing is to me about this. That there's a lot of people on the right who are like, you're a simp. I said the woman is correct. And I got responses, you're a simp. I'm a simp because I think women who try to, I think this woman is correct. And she says She should try to be attractive for her man, and her man should provide for her.
It's not all about that either. The other thing I really want to point out too is that women nowadays are so hung up on appearance. Everything is about the way they look. Face cream, all the things she's talking about, she's spending just to take care of her skin. Like, I mean, yes, take care of your skin, but I mean, is it really that difficult? I mean, I understand hormones are different. I get that, but is it really that difficult? Again, guys, I want you guys to chime in. I want your opinions down in the comments, but I just feel like, you know, if you focus more, if you took the amount of time that you spend focusing on your outer appearance and you spent that on your inward appearance, that would make all the difference.
That's simping? Yo, that's like conservatism. The dude goes and punches bricks all day or whatever it is men do with their time. I'm being somewhat silly. Let's go back again. Guy goes and hunts wild boar, running through the fields, getting cut up, and he's covered in sweat and grease. And then he throws, the spear and stabs the boar and slays the beast and drags its body back and throws it covered in sweat, all nasty. That's a lot of hard work. And he presents that savage hunt, the trophy, to the other men. Look at the beast that I have captured. They cheer him on. And the women who are like, he can provide for my family. And what do the women do? Smear berries on their faces, try to look more attractive and appealing to try and be the best, the most beautiful. That's like the absolute traditional gender role. And that still exists today. The idea that there are people on the right arguing that she's wrong. It's like, well, what do you want her to do? Like she said, throw on sweats, show up, no makeup, whatever. If that's your thing, that's your thing. That's okay.
Yes.
But for her, she's trying to attract a higher status man who appreciates the things she does.
I'm sorry. Higher status man. Again, I mean, here we go. I mean, I think about Kevin Samuels. He would have ripped this chick up. I mean, she has nothing in the front and nothing in the back. And she's talking about, at minimum, he needs to spend this on me. You do not get to dictate, honey. You don't. You just don't. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying all high status men want women like her. Not true. That's the world she lives in.
She's average.
If she's going to put in the effort to be beautiful, and the man is going to put in the hard work to make good money, then she expects the money she spends on herself and the efforts she takes to be attractive to be met in kind by a man who is going to work hard to have the funds to be something for her, like to meet that level.
And I'm going to say this too. Nothing's wrong with a woman knowing her value. I think that's perfectly fine. And I think that's what you should be looking for, is a woman who does know her value. But her value should not be wrapped up in her appearance, as it appears to be the case with this woman. Her value should be wrapped up in something more. I know for me and my wife, like when I was looking for a wife, someone to marry, like I was looking for a woman with substance. Even on our first date, I told myself, I'm not going to wear the nicest shirt. I'm going to wear a regular shirt. And on the second date, I'll wear something nicer because I want her to get to know me. I don't want her to get to know the best, impression that I'm going to give her. I want her to get to know me. And the same for me and her. Like, I want her to show me who she is. I don't want to get to know the best version that she wants to show me. I want to get to know the real her. And I just feel like dating these days it's hard. It's so hard. I'm so glad I'm married now because it's rough. It's really rough out there.
There's a documentary I recommend everybody watch called The Science of Sex. I think it was on HBO like 20 years ago or something. But they had a bunch of men, they had 10 men and women go into a room, and then they had them rate the other men and women. And sure enough, the men who were like conventionally attractive typically were given an 8 or a 9, and it went down. Like the guy who was short and frumpy and chubby was given like a 4 or a 5. And the tall, chiseled guy with styled hair was given a higher rating. That was physical attraction. But then, and here's what they did. They brought these things out to the street and they asked people on the street randomly. Here's a picture of a guy. How would you rate him on a scale of 1 to 10? Surprise, surprise. On average, their test subjects and random members of the public typically agreed. The guy who was considered a 9, like nobody was a 10, but the guy who was a 9, who was like tall and bright smile and chiseled chin and all that. They asked him on the street, like, oh, he's like an 8 or a 9. And they were like, surprise, surprise. Here's what they did next. For women, men almost completely agreed. They then took the picture of the man who was a 9 and they gave them a biography, a bio. In it, they said that he was the manager at a local theater. making something like $35,000 a year. And what happened? The women were like, he's like a 7. You know, he's like a good 7, maybe a 6. This attractive guy that they thought was a 9, once they found out what he did for a living, went down. I'm not surprised by that, and I'm not angry about it.
Proves my point even more. Even more. I mean, the things that men have to do in order to pursue a woman are so difficult. It's so difficult, you know? And for women just to act like, you know, $200 for my time, like, come on, what kind of horse are you on? Get off of that.
That's what they found. And when they took the guy who got rated a 4 and said he was a software engineer who made $500,000 a year, he went up to a 6. Dude, it is not bad that women find men of means and status to be attractive.
Right. You're right, Tim. But for a woman to think that she is worthy of his resources just out the gate on the first date, $200. I mean, can you imagine going on a date with multiple women? $200 here, $200 there, $200. I mean, that adds up. Nobody's doing that. And I don't know. I don't agree.
It's like the weirdest thing ever. So if a young woman says, I want a man who can spend $200 on our first date because of the effort I put in, imagine a guy who says, I'm going to spend $200 on a first date. I want a beautiful woman. Are we going to get mad about that? No, but you expect a beautiful woman to put in effort to like, I mean, women are going to shave. She's going to put on makeup. She's going to go tanning. Whatever it is you're into, she is going to try to be attractive for you. And she expects a man of means to comply with that. So the other thing that happened in this show was they put numbers on everyone's heads at random, 1 through 10. They told all the men in one room, your goal is to pair up with the highest number possible. That's it. And what happened? Guy who's got the 1 goes in the room. And what do? Everyone immediately goes to the woman who has the 10. And she's like, no, I'm not interested. And then what happens? She sees the guy with the 9 and she's like, I want you. And the guy with they don't know what their own number is. So all she sees is a guy with a high number. And she's like, you want to partner up? He sees 10 and he goes, definitely. When the guy with the 7 goes, you want to partner up? She goes, not interested. It was that simple. What did they find? It was almost 1 for 1. The 6 and the 7s paired up. The 10s and the 10s paired up. The 10s, because everyone immediately went for the 10. The 10s were just like, you're a 10. I'm in. She's like, you're a 10. I'm in. Let's go. Paired up. And then it was like the 1 and 2. And like there was a little mix, but mostly 1s with 1s, 2s with 2s, 3s with 3s.
But it doesn't work like that.
That's what it is.
But it does not work like that.
This woman puts the effort in to make.
It does not work like that. I've seen so many guys outkick their coverage. I'm one of them. You know, to outkick your coverage it's kind of normal. And I've seen women who are just like really beautiful be with guys who like you said, you'd question, you know, and vice versa. I've seen some guys who you're like, wow, like I've seen you do better. So, and again, it's all appearance based. That's the problem. That is the problem with this whole conversation, is that this woman is talking about her appearance and how her appearance is equating to all of the time and effort that a man puts into becoming a man. And that is the issue that I have with this whole thing. And that is why men are saying this is simping. All right, guys. So you tell me what you think. Post down in the comments. Am I wrong? I mean, is this woman right? Should a man pay $200 minimum for a first date? Let me know down in the comments. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.